Hey guys, Mike here. So today, I'm here to talk to you about Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga. In this review, I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film, and whether or not you guys should go and see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler-free. However, if you don't want to know anything about the film, and you want to go in completely blind, then let's just come back to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we?
Very light, like silky kitty fish in marshmallow boxing glove.
So Eurovision Song Contest stars Will Ferrell as Lars and Rachel McAdams as Sigrid. In Eurovision Song Contest, two aspiring Icelandic musicians are given the opportunity of a lifetime to perform in the world's biggest singing competition. And so we have Eurovision Song Contest. I gotta be honest with you guys, I wasn't really looking forward to watching this one. I only kind of put it on because I just wanted to watch a film. And because I do like Will Ferrell, his movies are usually very hit or miss. And Rachel McAdams as well, though I haven't seen her in that many things, she is usually a really good actress. And I didn't really know all that much about this one either. All I knew is that the two of them would be competing in the Eurovision Song Contest. And Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, they are good in this movie. They're not exactly anything amazing or original. I mean, you take one look at the poster, you know exactly how this movie's gonna go. They're friends, they become a bit more famous, they fall out, they get back together, and then the movie just ends. And it pretty much did play out like that, except they had two scenes where they fell out, so, you know, slightly original. And as well, as for the characters' accents, now, I have no idea whether these are completely accurate Icelandic accents. They're probably the equivalent of someone doing an English accent and just doing a Cockney accent being like, "All right, governor," you know, just doing something like that. So I really can't comment on the accuracy of the Icelandic accents. And as well, I did this thing, which I do for comedies, which I don't think are going to be very good, where I kind of shut myself off and just don't force myself to laugh. I'm pretty much there, like, this movie has to actually make me laugh if it wants to, you know, get anything out of me. And for the first 15 minutes, though it was trying to be funny, it just really wasn't doing anything for me. And then as soon as you hit the 20-minute mark, something absolutely hilarious happens, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And then from there, pretty much the wall was broken, and every kind of little joke did end up getting me. And to be honest, I was really just won over by the movie's charm. Because despite Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams' characters being quite predictable and unoriginal, I did quite like them. I was interested to see where they were going. I was interested to see why they actually wanted to compete in the Eurovision Song Contest. Though, to be honest, it was pretty obvious. And I gotta admit, I did kind of get caught up in all the singing. Because actually, it's kind of hard whether you would classify this one as a musical, because I think it does have the qualities of being one. The movie's centered around music. It has people singing pretty much constantly non-stop. And as well, there is this one scene where they do just kind of burst out singing for more or less no reason. But even still, it was really fun, engaging, and they were singing quite well-known songs, so, you know, you kind of sing along yourself. You know, what else do you want from a musical? And as for Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams singing, it was very obvious that Will Ferrell was doing his own singing because you could definitely tell it was him. And Rachel McAdams' character sounded really good as well. And it actually made me question, was that actually her singing? And as the story went on, I was questioning it more and more that it was Rachel McAdams singing. And afterwards, I looked it up and I saw that, you know, this question was actually quite searched. And apparently, Rachel McAdams' voice was blended, I'm not really sure how that works, with a Swedish singer called Molly Sandén. Now, I'm not really sure how much of it was Rachel McAdams or how much of it was Molly Sandén, though it became pretty obvious that when it came to these really powerful or long notes, it was probably this Molly Sandén person, because, you know, those are the kind of notes which most people would struggle to get. Especially this one at the end, the spirit note, which they kept talking about throughout the film, which when you hear it, it is pretty damn excellent. And to find out that someone actually did that note is even more impressive. But I've got to say that one of the biggest standout things about this movie was the fact that Graham Norton was in it. Because for those of you who don't know, Graham Norton commentates the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm not really sure if he does it for any other country, but, you know, he does it for us. And Graham Norton is pretty much one of the only reasons why I would watch the Eurovision Song Contest. Because the guy is ruthless. He won't be there just like, oh, you know what, that song wasn't really that good, maybe they could try harder. He'll just call them out, he'll just say like, well, that wasn't very good. And Graham Norton just does that in this movie as well, and it's just absolutely excellent. Overall, guys, I definitely enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would. The characters were okay, the performances were decent, I can't really comment too much about the accents, the music was excellent, definitely the best part of it, and having Graham Norton definitely doesn't hurt either. And pretty much as soon as the laughter wall was broken, the movie was quite funny from there. But now, as for whether or not, you guys should go and see it. Now, this is a bit of a tricky one to recommend because while I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would, I can fully understand why people would not enjoy this one. Because at the end of the day, this is a fairly mediocre comedy. Sure, it manages to blend in a lot of different genres like fantasy, musicals, drama, you know, all those kind of things. But ultimately, I would just say this, it's not Will Ferrell's worst movie, nor is it really even his best one. So as for a recommendation, I would say just give it a watch. If it's not your cup of tea, you can always just turn it off. But I would say, give this movie a fairly decent chance. Okay guys, that's my review of Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what are your thoughts on the actual Eurovision Song Contest? Whatever they are, drop them in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!